today is the day I introduce my 1984 Cadillac 3-door airport car, limo. You call it what you want. Everybody's got a different definition. Probably gonna hear me refer to it as the limo. Alright, first review. Are you guys ready?
No.
Holy crap!
Jesus. 1984 Caddy limo monster truck.
I'm not even gonna ask why, because you're gonna say why not.
Nothing drives like a Cadillac. This is a paper. You want to file the divorce papers after the holiday, or you wait for that?
Oh, you bought that? Oh, no. People sent me that thing.
The limo?
100 times. It's a lifted limo. I know exactly what car this is. I am working at it so many times. This was sent to me 100 times. Why?
Why not?
I lost a tire at some point.
There she is. We finally made it back to the shop with our lifted limo. We're gonna go ahead. I got it unhooked. Got the charger on it. We're gonna see if it fires up, lift the trailer, and back this thing off finally.
Huh, what?
Somebody rednecked this thing with some bolts and there we go.
You're upset someone rednecked it? Isn't that the name of your channel?
Yeah, I suppose. But there's redneck in the right way and redneck in the wrong way. No, it's just, I've done this before too. I need to switch these battery cables to top post though, because everything I have is top post. I can make this one work with some vice grips. Alright, she's a little cold-blooded. I think we need to fix a choke on the carb, so I gotta sit in there, rev it up a little bit. Once I give you a thumbs up, you can tilt the trailer up. I think from here we need to figure out the steering so we can actually drive this thing. And get a different battery apparently. Let's go ahead and get in there somehow. I've had to do some boring videos for some cars that have been sitting around my shop. Worked on the Monty all day today. Had to put some new plugs in it, oil change, fix brakes and whatnot. Got it running just pristine. But you're probably gonna hear me refer to it as the limo. Just ignore me. I'm an idiot. I already bought this. So what this thing is, I picked it up, actually it's been on Marketplace forever. Everybody in the state of Iowa, I think, has seen this thing at one point in time. I did not build it. I'm not taking credit for that. What I will take credit for is making it four-wheel drive. Currently, it has the old Bluetooth drive shaft there, as you can see. It's really hard to see, but we got an 80-foot rear drive shaft to our two-wheel drive transmission. No transfer case in the car yet. That's about to change. So this car actually has the factory Cadillac chassis. It's rocking. I want to close your ears on this one. It's got a 307 V8, what I believe is something like a 200 R4, maybe something like that. It's not a turbo 350, not a 400. It is literally the weakest drivetrain you could have in something like this, with 46-inch tall tires. Absolutely gutless. I do have some more plans for that. Our good friend Kevin at Junkyard Digs is currently bringing us a 500 cubic inch Cadillac motor with the turbo 400 trans for it. Now, the goals for this, we have a deadline of August 6th. They're having truck pulls in Maxwell, Iowa. And Kevin and I are taking both our Cadillacs. His lifted Cadillac on 35s and my lifted Cadillac on 46s. Is gonna be I obviously expect to not do well at all. I'm already putting that out there. Kevin says he'd give me a case of beer if I make it 30 feet, which is about the length of the car. So, you know, I just gotta pull it to about right here in the front of the car and we're good. But yeah, we'll go ahead and show you around a little bit. Oh, it is everything for me to reach that hood. So this thing is just does not do justice to how big it is in the camera. But here we go. Just old factory smog motor. Nothing special. Nothing special at all about it. Passenger side doesn't look too bad. The driver's side, I'm not sure what happened here, but somebody did some sanding there. A little bit of rust on the rockers. Some rust there. And we're missing that piece, which I did get in the trunk, and it's got a new one in there. Not me, but the inside of this thing is pretty decent. I got some logos for the side of the car too. We're gonna throw those on shortly, but the interior is nice. And check this, that's so cool. All three doors open, 3-row seating. I want to take that row and flip it around so you're facing each other. You know, maybe put a drink holder in there or something. Somebody gave me some subs for the back. It actually already has the wiring for an amp and subs in the trunk, so obviously we gotta be blaring some good music while we're driving this thing. The middle seats are good too. I mean, heck, there isn't even a tear in it. There isn't even mud in the carpet. This thing needs to go bogging. Other than that, it's yeah, we're gonna hook the battery up. I gotta move this thing around, get it up by the shop, so that way we can start working on it. What we're gonna do is hook the battery up. We gotta do about an 80-point turn to just get the car from here to there, because the steering on this thing is just absolutely, oh, what's a good word for it? Not good. Okay, you can fill in the blank on that one, but what we got here is that shock actually is unbolted from the axle because the steering hits it if it's bolted up. So this is kind of similar to a GM style steering. Well, to make matters all the worse for these 46-inch tires, we got Chevy 3/4 ton axles. So Dana 44, I believe it's a 14 bolt in the rear with 410 gears. I know, it's just not good. It's getting worse and worse, but so this steering is just completely screwed. And I got a plan for that. Actually, a part's showing up in a couple days. You can see, let me crawl under here. They have a spacer on the knuckle, aftermarket drag length, steering length here, with the stock pitman arm on the stock gearbox, and it does not work. When I picked this up, the steering is just not good. It would actually turn, was it left or right, really well, but it would not go the other way at all, like maybe 2 inches. So you could not turn this thing around if your life depended on it. There's a few things we could do. We could spend thousands of dollars, do a high lift steering, you know, get the different knuckle on the passenger side for a Dana 44, basically flip our crossover bar. You can see it goes to the bottom of that knuckle. You can basically get a different knuckle, have a bracket over there on top, flip this bar on the top side, and do a sort of Y-link to our gearbox from that corner. And so what that would just basically do is make it a lot stronger, correct the geometry, so that way hopefully we could get full turning out of these monster tires. I don't expect it to be the best given what we got here. But so yeah, steering, 4-wheel drive shafts, and if I'm absolutely feeling ambitious, if this gets enough hits on this first section, I will drop that 500 Cadillac with the Turbo 400 in before that weekend. So let's be honest, we're gonna need everything we got to be able to turn these 46-inch tires. My buddy Chris go ahead and make us some graphics for this car, and because of course driving something like this around, you gotta let people know who you are. This is not gonna go well by myself or with this 20-mile-an-hour wind we got going on out here, but we're gonna see what happens. This just okay, wind. Gotta love Iowa. let's just take a moment here and let you guys know that I don't install vinyl graphics on a daily, alright? This is my second time ever doing it. So, with that being said, there's gonna be a crease or two in it. Just ignore it. It's gonna look good 20 feet away, alright? People aren't gonna have an issue seeing this thing go down the road. I need to quit messing around. Let's get some work done. Alright, it's been a couple days. We've been still waiting on the steering parts for this, but they finally came in. I believe we went through Rough Stuff, Specialties, and we got, basically that's the prime key we need right there, because that's going to go over to our passenger knuckle, and then from that joint there, it's going to bring it over and connect up to our steering, so it'll be like a Weiling steering. It'll be a lot better than what we got going on. Success. Alright, we'll put the other one over there, try and figure out how much adjustment I want on this, and probably the wrong way to do things, but we're gonna do it like this anyways. Alright, we're making some progress. We basically got the old steering out. We got the whatever you call that, steering link or drag link, something like that. Got that off the pitman arm here. We're gonna go ahead, pull a measurement from tie rod end to tie rod end, basically knuckle to knuckle, cut our bar there. You don't have to get too crazy specific, because that's why you have adjustments on both ends, so you can adjust it in and out or whatever if you were to align it. What we're gonna do is, we got that measurement, got our new bar there, throw it on the chop saw, and wow, that was almost spot on. Safety first. Don't trip a breaker. Don't do it. Ah, every time. I'm going to go ahead and try to basically put a little 45-degree angle on the end of this. That way we can, you know, weld and fill that in a little bit. Try and do it proper, I suppose. I don't know. It's only my life here that we're risking, but going down the road. You know, honestly, you could probably use rebar, and I mean, it'd work, but highly frowned upon. I did not recommend that, by the way. Like, definitely do not do that. Fresh. Let's go see what it looks like. It's probably wrong. I need like a slight bend in it, I feel like, but I'm just not feeling that today, you know? Way too much work. Especially for when I'm not trying to do this, you know, the best way. We're just trying to take this truck pulling. I just need to steer enough to get us there. Well, let's get the other tie rod end on our pitman arm and pull a measurement, and we'll try a straight bar basically for our Y length first. See what it does. After some very careful consideration given my life in this 4-foot lifted Cadillac, we're changing the tubing. Yeah, this just, I don't think is, granted, it's not welded in, so it feels a little flimsy, but it looks too small. So I called my friend Paul, does some welding here in town, and he got us some black pipe that's like 1/8 inch thick, so a lot better than that. I think that was 12 gauge that I was using. Definitely not gonna work. So this black pipe, way more stronger. So we got it on the chop saw, got it cut to our 4-foot length. We might slip that tube inside of this one, you know, it's not gonna hurt anything, stronger the better. Well, good news and bad news. I think it's gonna be close. There's no way I'm gonna be able to sleep this one. So that one we're gonna have to weld. Going that way, turning left is gonna work just fine. I don't think that'll be an issue. I think we should finally get full steer that way. But coming full steer this way, we have an inch clearance between our leaf spring and our Y link here. And you can kind of see how much clearance I have. Now the wheels are straight, not a big deal. Turning that way will be fine, because obviously the angle will get farther away from the leaf spring, but when we turn that way, it's gonna want to hit. And once I weld those, we're kind of stuck with what we got. Might be better than what it was, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe that leaf spring will flex enough. Welding time! We got the old Eastwood 250 out. I've been borrowing this from Kevin for a while, and it works pretty dang good. I seriously just run out of wire. It's always a battle around here. Right when you get excited, get down, situated, something like that. Alright, finally seeing some progress on the car. We got the steering all welded up. I just threw that in. We're finishing up the Y-link right now. Also, you saw the disaster of me trying to get the graphics on the car. Well, I called the professionals then. Capital Sign out of Ankeny taking care of me. They came back out. We tore the old one off. Got that one on. I'll go ahead and throw in a time lapse of the other side so you can watch it get installed. Alright, might have made a mistake. We got the steering done, finished up the wrap, you saw the time lapse on that, and I backed the car up, and when you turn right, it goes left, and when you turn left, it goes right, which makes no sense in the world. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yep.
You know,
They saw it happen.
together.
I'll tell you one thing, nobody's stealing this thing. Jump out. What is wrong with this car?
That is the ultimate failsafe.
I want to go that way. Oh, better put her in drive. Why are we turning right when I turn in left? What is happening? I'm literally turning right, and this car is going left. And now I'll turn right to go right, and now it's going left. You gotta be a wizard to drive this car. Alright, clearly we got a couple issues, the steering being completely backwards, but it does work way better than it did before, which is makes it for moving around a little bit better, but I believe we're gonna go ahead and put the 500 in with the Turbo 400 trans for a couple reasons. The new motor and trans is roughly 8 inches longer than what's in it right now. And I really don't want to build drive shafts twice. So we can probably plan on pulling the motor and figuring out the steering box in the next video and probably dropping in the 500 at least and going from there. As you saw, I compression test the motor. 180. Amazing compression on this motor. It's looking pretty healthy. I wanted to do, I wanted to mill the heads, throw cam in it, and whatnot, but I really need to get that in first and get that positioned so I can figure out where to put that transfer case. Once we get all of that done, then I'll probably just have to stand on a forklift and do the performance stuff in the car because I'm not going to want to pull it again. But anyways, leave a comment. What do you think's wrong with the steering? Put a like, share the video if you want to see more. Part 2 coming out next week. See you guys.